Hello student, welcome to biology class, and now we are going to discuss about the remaining topic of environment chapter of science class 10th, and the topic is environmental problem. This is the last topic from this chapter, environmental problem. So environment are any changes in the environment affect our life, and if we do some changes in the environment that affect the environment, or a number of changes that we do, or the number of processes that we do may affect the environment. So how the environment get affected by human activity or the activity of living organism, we will discuss here. Especially the human activity involved are responsible for the environmental problem. So what are the environmental problems we will discuss here? There are two environmental problems which we will discuss according to our syllabus. So first environmental problem involve the ozone layer depletion. First we will discuss about the ozone layer depletion. Then the second topic we will discuss, our second problem we will discuss related to the environment will be the pollution. Pollution due to mismanagement of garbage we produce. So these are the two issues or two problems created by human life, the changes that done by the human activity, and that changes leads to these two problems. The first is ozone layer depletion, and second is pollution due to the mismanagement of garbage we produce at home level or at industry level. So the problem of ozone layer depletion is in the form of ultraviolet radiation. So we will discuss detail about this topic. So first of all, let us start with the ozone layer depletion. So first of all, we need to understand about ozone. So ozone is a 3 oxygen atom combined together to form ozone. It means it is the triatomic form of oxygen. Generally, oxygen present in our atmosphere in diatomic form, that is O2, and that oxygen is known as the breath of the life, which is responsible for aerobic respiration for the living organism. While O3 is the another form or molecular form of the oxygen, and O3 is the poisonous for the human or the living organism if it present in the troposphere, that is near the Earth's surface. But in stratosphere, O3 first revealed in troposphere and in stratosphere. In both the layer of atmosphere, O3 play different role. If O3 present in troposphere, it is poisonous for us, but if it present in stratosphere, it is harmful or beneficial for the human or for all the all the life present on Earth planet. So how O3 is poisonous in troposphere. So O3 may cause a number of lungs problem or respiratory disease. It means it may damage the lungs if it will be present in troposphere. But in stratosphere, so how O3 is present in stratosphere and how it is responsible for the beneficial activity. So O3 or the formation of O3 involve a biochemical reaction, and that biochemical reaction take place in stratosphere. So what are the biochemical reactions? First of all, let us discuss about this. So the oxygen molecule in stratosphere, when it receive UV radiation, UV rays. So UV rays consist of a large quantity of energy, solar energy, and with the help of that energy of UV rays, oxygen is split. The oxygen molecule becomes split to form oxygen atom, and that oxygen atom, when combined with the oxygen molecule, it will be converted into the O3. So this is the biochemical reaction through which O3 or ozone form in stratosphere, and in the stratosphere it makes the blanket. It makes a blanket in stratosphere, and that blanket is known as the ozone layer. So this is about the ozone layer and its benefit, because it prevents us from ultraviolet radiation. So due to prevention from ultraviolet radiation of sun, it is also known as a natural sunscreen. It is also known as natural sunscreen because as the sunscreen protect from our skin from the harmful radiation or harmful rays of the sun, it also protect our body, our skin from the UV rays. So it may call called as the natural sunscreen. Now, what are the harmful effects when UV rays comes on the Earth's surface? So there are number of problems created, problems or the health hazard. We can study in the form of health hazard, and a number of health hazard can be occurred due to the ultraviolet radiation falling on the Earth's surface. So what are the health hazards caused due to this ultraviolet radiation? So it may be the skin cancer, maybe the it weakens immunity system of the living body. Then it may also be responsible for cataract of eyes. It is also responsible for cataract of eyes, that is ultraviolet radiation. Now it may the ultraviolet radiation may also harm or kill the plants on the planet. So these are the number of health hazards for a number of living organisms on this planet. So due to this, we need to prevent ultraviolet radiation to come on the Earth's surface, and that prevention is done with the help of ozone layer present in the stratosphere. And stratosphere is present about 12 kilometer to 50 kilometer above the sea level. Above the sea level, sea level. So on that position, the ozone layer easily protect from ultraviolet radiation or prevent the ultraviolet radiation to go on the Earth's surface. It means, or in other word, we can say that ozone layer in stratosphere filter the solar energy or sun rays. It means the harmful rays becomes filtered in stratosphere by the help of ozone layer. So this is the main function of ozone layer. And what are the health hazards due to the ultraviolet radiation on this planet? So now we will discuss, or we are going to discuss, that how this ultraviolet radiation get comes on this planet now from several years. So this is observed in Antarctica region. Observed it was observed in 1985. In 1985, it was observed the a decrease in ozone layer, or removal of decrease or removal of ozone layer, and it is called ozone hole. Ozone hole. So this ozone hole is responsible, or is allow the ultraviolet radiation to go on the Earth's surface, and that allowing of the ultraviolet radiation to go on Earth's surface due to the ozone hole or depletion of ozone layer. Due to depletion of ozone layer, the formation of ozone hole take place, and from that area, the ultraviolet radiation may easily or cannot be filtered on that area. So on that area, UV rays directly fall on the surface of Earth and may cause a number of health hazards. So on that time, the persons were trying to find out the region of ozone hole or ozone layer depletion. So on that time, the region for ozone hole find out in the form of CFCs. It means the cause of ozone hole was in the form of CFCs, which is known as chlorofluorocarbons. So chlorofluorocarbons are the group of chemicals that was observed responsible for ozone hole in Antarctica region. So it is observed that chlorofluorocarbons are used by human being for their comfort. So what are the things in which the chlorofluorocarbons are used? So example of chlorofluorocarbon, one of the example is freon. So freon is used as refrigerant and fire extinguisher. And that refrigerant and fire extinguisher is used at this time at very huge level or at very vast level. So it is sure that large amount of CFCs will be produced from these things which is used for the human being for the comfort purpose. So freons are the one of the CFCs which are responsible for ozone hole. So after observing or after finding the reason for the ozone hole, the person or scientist becomes trying to reduce the level of these chemicals, that means freons or CFCs. So for that purpose, to reduce or to make an effort to reduce the use of CFC, a program known as UNEP, that is United Nation Environment Program. United Nations Environment Program, that is UNEP, was established or was held in 1986, that make Kyoto Protocol. United Nations Environment Program made the Kyoto Protocol to all the countries of the world to make effort or make the effort to reduce the use of freons or CFCs. And it was observed by this program the amount of CFCs or amount of freons becomes reduced. So one of the main cause for the ozone depletion, which is CFCs, and by reducing the use of CFC or release of CFC, we can easily prevent from ozone hole or from ozone layer depletion, which is a protective covering around this planet. So we also need to try to use or no use of these substances, that means refrigerant as well as fire extinguisher, because this may leads to increase in the amount of CFCs or freons which is responsible for ozone. So I hope you will be understood from this explanation about the ozone layer as well as its depletion. Now we proceed towards the second environmental problem from this chapter, which involve as a topic in our chapter. This is the pollution due to the mismanagement of garbage we produce. So if we observe from our home, we see that on daily basis some amount of garbage produced from our home and we thrown out to outside our home at a single place, and on that place a mountain becomes formed, a small mountain becomes formed, and that may cause a number of problems in our society, in our community. So this is a form of pollution, and that pollution caused by the accumulation of garbage that is produced at our home level. So in this way, some other garbage also produced by some other institution or from the factory or industry. So we need to understand that how the management should be done to remove this problem, and the pollution that is caused due to the mismanagement. So we need to convert this mismanagement into the management. Or we can say that we have to convert mismanagement into good management. So what are the good management to prevent from this problem or to eradicate this problem from our society? So in this chapter, it is given about a number of ways, a number of processes or steps we need to take in to prevent for pollution due to mismanagement. So let us understood some process or steps. So first method we need to do or make some effort by separating separation of garbage. By making separation of garbage, we can easily manage our garbage, and we can easily remove or prevent from the pollution. So how we can prevent from pollution? By using this method. So let us understood at our home level that the garbage produced in our home can be divided into two categories. The first in the form of biodegradable garbage, and the second as non-biodegradable garbage. So biodegradable garbage can be collected in a separate dustbin and non-biodegradable in separate. So if we collect biodegradable waste or garbage in a pit, so that pit may be converted into the manure after some days. So that manure may be helpful for that manure when transferred to our field, it will be make our soil fertile. So that will be helpful for the farmers. And if no land is available for a particular individual, so they can easily sell that manure to get the money. And on other hand, the non-biodegradable substances can also be again separated into three categories: plastic, metals and glass, so that they can be easily distributed to some societies that are related to the recycling of plastic, metals as well as glass. So in this way we can manage our garbage at home level by separation method. Now the second method is, secondly, we can do good management for our waste or garbage by reuse method. Reuse method. So a number of things that we thrown out from our home by understanding as a garbage, as a waste material or non-usable substance, that may be reused or used again and again by ourselves, such as the plastic bottle. So plastic bottle which is which comes in our home as a pack for packing substances. So that plastic bottle may be used as water bottle, are used as packing of some substances in our home. So in this way, reuse method, it is used the strategy of use again and again. The strategy of using substances again and again comes in this category, that is usually used method. The next method is reduce. So the one thing which we have heard in this year from our Prime Minister, that the no use of or to ban single-use plastic. Single-use plastic. So the plastic which is used for packing substances, food substances or other substances may be reduced. We can easily reduce the use of these plastics by using another things at the place of these plastic bags. So this is one of the other method for good management of garbage. Now the next thing is the recycling. So recycling can be done as we have discussed in the case of separation of garbage. So the non-biodegradable garbage, if we separate them again in the form of plastic, metals and the glass. So these can be separately recycled into the new product. So these are the different methods which are responsible for the good management of the garbage we produce, and it also prevents from the pollution which is caused due to the mismanagement of garbage. So this is all about the two topics, that is ozone layer and its depletion, and the second pollution due to mismanagement of garbage we produce, and these are comes under the category of environmental problems. So this is the last topic of this chapter. I hope you will be understand easily from